Hi, this is AnnaImagination of the Healing Garden. I had a feeling, and whenever I have a feeling, I dig right into it. And this one is a doozy. I don't do anything based on conformity. I question everything because I don't trust anything that comes out of the system. I don't manifest possessions, I manifest ideas, which deliver a lot faster than things. And my intuition jumps in and says, do this. I studied the history of commerce. I'm a sociologist. And one of the things that I really enjoyed was the history of taxes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That is such a fun topic. I am such a nerd. I loved the history of agriculture and the history of economics and the history of taxation and the history of, we need a monetary system so we can figure out how to do bartering and trade and negotiation on a full outright scale of trade as opposed to here is a chicken. The reason why this concept came along, money, is because one man's chicken is another man's dinner. I'm a vegetarian, so that did not go well. The point is, oh, I'm having perspective shift after perspective shift. So I'm going to take you and just pull you into my brain. I create art, my book. And I hand you my book and I say to you, tell me what this is worth. Now, in my perspective, this book, that book, in the case of Dollar and Shadow, it consumed 20 years of my life. I'm doing the math. 10 to 15 years of my life. But in the case of Broken, that's my life work. So it means something to me. Now, you take that book, you read that book, and it changes you. Now you tell me how much it's worth. If you could put a price on your favorite piece of literature, on your favorite artwork, how much would you pay? How much would you pay if you could look at Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night? How much is that worth? How much is Salvador Dali's Persistence of Memory worth? Let me tell you a funny story about Dali. I went to MoMA, Modern Museum of Art in New York City. This is 20 years ago. I had no idea what was inside MoMA. I walked in, and the very first thing that greets you, the very first thing is Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night. You walk in and boom, there it is. And you just, that's the welcoming door. That's like you walk in and there it is. I spent hours in front of Starry Night, staring. Fun fact, all the white that you see in his painting isn't paint, it's canvas. Van Gogh did not cover the entire canvas with paint because he was poor. So there's a lot of canvas that leaks through Van Gogh's work. And all of his paintings are this way. It was a way of being frugal with paint. That's the kind of shit you don't know until you see it. So I'm wandering around, and there's, Picasso's pieces all over the place. And I get to this one little dark corner of the museum. I mean, dark. And I'm like, and there's a corner. So I'm like doing one of these in the corner, and my eyeballs scan something very familiar. And then I stop and I go, what the fuck? Now, let me tell you something. This painting was literally this big. And I was staring at Dali's Persistence of Memory. Did you know it's this big? And it's in the corner. There's no Like when you get into the Picasso area, it's like Picasso. But you get over to that corner and it's a dark, everybody was walking by it. No attention. Like the most famous painting in the world, Melted Clocks, and people had no idea they were walking past it. They literally tucked it into a corner. It's like I found this treasure in a garbage bin. And you have no idea that it's so small because when you look at the pictures, for God's sakes, my phone internet is bigger than what you see in real life. And I'm looking at it going, oh my God. And I felt like I needed like opera glasses or something to just like see. I was staring at persistence of memory. My God. How much is it worth? How much is it worth? Can you even name? What is valuable to me may not be valuable to you. What is nothing to me might be priceless to you. That's the way money was. In fact, that's the way money still is in most of the places in the world, except the United States, where bartering does not exist. And you know what bartering does? Bartering opens the door for different perspectives. How do you put a monetary number on something? When the price is fixed, it's so forth perspective, isn't it? I remember this story from the Bible about a woman who gave 2 pennies in the donation bin, 2 coppers, and that was all the money she had. She gave 100% of what she had. I'm remembering My Fair Lady. Oh my God, do I love My Fair Lady. And Eliza Doolittle walks in and she says, I'm going to give you half a crown. Take it or leave it. And she's wanting speech lessons to learn how to speak more genteel. And so she offers Rex Harrison, Professor Higgins, half a crown, take it or leave it. And Rex Harrison says, you know, Pickering, if you look at her offer, not just as a crown, but as a percentage of this girl's income, what she's actually offering is enormous. It's the most I've ever been offered. It must be equivalent to like 50 pounds. It's really a different perspective, isn't it? I love the movie Pursuit of Happiness. They're in the cab. Will Smith gets out of the cab. And the billionaire says, hey, can I borrow $5? Now, to the billionaire, it's pennies. It's an annoyance. It's an annoyance. But to Will Smith, that is bread and milk for his son. The movie Pursuit of Happiness really hits me hard. I'm living it. Who are we to tell anybody what anything is worth to us? So I'm going to do something really different. And my intuition said, Anna, do it. And I felt good about it. Remember my rules. Does it feel good? Does it feel right? Does it give me joy? This feels right. Oh, good God, does this feel right? Does it feel good? Oh, fuck yes, it feels good. And it's giving me joy. Oh, that's easy. Yes. And Identity's over there and she's like doing her little woo-hoo-hoo. So Identity looks like a blonde little nymph who just jumps around in the forest being ethereal. That's identity. Identity is very much my little woodland nymph. And it's like, okay. And so she's very happy about this. And intuition is do it. So this is me officially going, okay, I'm trusting the universe. I'm going to start effective immediately doing something called pay what you can. And basically everything in the healing garden, pay what you can. The prices are posted. Take a look at my masterclasses. Take a look at my integration workshops. Pay what you can. The healing garden resorts, those are going to have to stay fixed because I have budgets. Like that's me giving money to the patriarchy. And when it comes to the patriarchy, because we have to play in their world every now and then, you have to kind of conform. But I don't live inside the patriarchy. So why am I using the patriarchy's monetary system? You know, this has been bothering me since day one. I walked out of the patriarchy and I went, well, what about money? How does that work? I have had to redefine every little thing outside of the patriarchy. Relationships, oh, I got my own rules. I got my own rules. I'll share them with you someday if you want. But I got my own rules. It's really awesome how my relationships function outside. But it's my own personal law. I have my own personal law for relationships. I have my own personal law for how I do business. And this is the problem. No, wrong word. This is the obstacle that I face is I'm having to redefine everything because when you step outside of the system, you're stripped of the system, which is fantastic. But now you're going, well, great. Now how do I do business? Well, the system says you have to do it that way. And every time I try and do anything that the system says I have to do it, they fuck it up because it's no longer authentic. It's no longer to my personal truth. So everything needs to be redefined. Money was the last straw. I was trying to hold the garden accountable to the laws of the patriarchy. I can't do that. I'm not in the patriarchy. Why would money be any different? And I had been struggling with this from day one. I had to completely re-break my relationship, put it down to the ground and go, okay, so I have a thing. That's what I call my thing with my partner, who's not my partner because we don't use words from the patriarchy. I've got my thing and it's, all I know is if it feels good and if it feels right and if it gives me joy, I do it. And that man is 100% all over that. And he's the same way. He was that way before I found him. In a way, in so many ways, he is my mentor and he doesn't know it. One day I will tell him. One day I will let him know, by the way, this is what I'm doing behind the curtain. I just know that it has to feel good. It has to feel right. And it has to give me joy. So I built the garden. And at first it was building it the way the patriarchy said you had to. And then I'm like, no, it's not authentic. So I broke it all down and I rebuilt it with my personal truth. And I've been reshaping every little aspect of it around my personal truth. And now I'm sitting here going, money also, Anna. Money's no exception. Break it down. And I went, well, what did we have before we had the patriarchy? We had the bartering and negotiation system. Negotiation. But then there is something out there called pay what you can. And then I thought about it and I went, yeah, that feels right to me. That feels so good to me. Because it's been bothering me ethically. Like, I don't like the idea. I can't give this away for free. I've got to function. But I can bend the rules and I can still live ethically. It was books. This is books' fault. This is a library's fault. I was going through Facebook memes yesterday and I saw this sign on a library that somebody posted. Our store hours are this. Books are this price. And then down below, if we're closed and you need a book, pay what you can. need a book. And then underneath that, it was, if you don't have anything and you just need or want to read, help yourself. And it was beautiful. It was, you know what you can afford. You know what's ethical. You know your situation. Here's my prices. Now, here's the pay what you can. I'm going to beta this. Try it out. It feels right. It feels so right. It feels good. And I trust it. Pay what you can. So take a look at my masterclasses, take a look at my workshops, take a look at everything I offer. My information, my contact details are down below. There's my CashApp, there's my Venmo, there's my PayPal. So you can completely bypass what you need through the shop. For some reason, this feels really good, and I'm not questioning it. When it feels right, good, and there's joy, and my intuition is going, this is the path ahead. Okay, I don't question it. That's how I got here. For some reason, this feels like this is the path for me. By the way, this is the shit I teach you. This is it. How to listen to this system, because you have the same system inside of you. So effective immediately. Effective immediately. Pay what you can. Pay what you can. Take a look at my masterclasses. Take a look at my integration workshops. This week, I had a massive, I did my first week of scheduled content. And I am happy to report that I definitely took it too far. I overscheduled, and I have to bring it back. So I'm going to schedule two. I'm going to schedule perspective shifts. That's 11 o'clock every day. And I'm going to be scheduling my meditation. That is Monday through Friday. I'm going to be taking my meditation for beginner, and I'm going to be moving those over to my integration workshops exclusively, which is now accessible. It's $140 a month for members. You can buy annually or pay what you can. But there is one of those videos available. So that's specifically for my integration workshop. All of this feels right. It feels so good. So I'm shifting some things. The next couple days, today and tomorrow, I'm going to be focusing specifically on how all the reshuffling is going to go around. I want to say this is like the last final big tweak. This is it. I think I finally figured out my song. This is it. It feels so good. So yeah. Wow. I'm getting so much epiphany right now, and I'm just trying to keep up with it all. It's control. When you set a price and you say, this is it, it's control. That's why it's part of the patriarchy. But when you open up negotiation and bartering, you let go of the control. Now, we live in a system where most of us are not taught how to negotiate and barter. I have no idea how to negotiate and barter. I have no idea. I'm learning here. But what right do I have? It's almost monetary perspective abuse. It is monetary perspective abuse. This is my path. I know where I belong. This is right. Okay. Wow. You know what I love is when you find out where your path is, and this is going to happen to you. When you start living to your authentic truth, when you release the control, the confusion ends, the worry ends, the clarity ends, it shuts down, and the path opens up ahead, and you can see clearly. Confusion is when you force a path that is not your own. Confusion is when you walk a path that is not your own. Because the minute you get on your own path, boy, does it become clear. All right. So this is me officially announcing Pay What You Can with the Healing Garden. The information and the links are down below. Register for my amphitheater. That is linked down below. That will get you the journey plan and your starter pack. Okay, I know my way. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and www.annashealinggarden.org. Design your journey. Thank you. And may the kindest of words always find you.